2022 and Frankie de Jong can't go to an airport and absolutely board a flight without being asked a question. Number one, Frankie, why aren't you flying private? I don't understand. He's travelled to London. I've got the reason why. He's not joining Chelsea. He's not joining United. There is a reason why he's at the airport. Oh yeah, Wilfred Zaha had talks with Chelsea and so did Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, according to Fabrizio Romano, but David Ornstein's saying basically he's lying. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, guys, and if you guys think I'm speaking fast today, it's because I am, because there's so much news that I could have made 3 videos today. Literally, it will start with the incomings, the outgoings, and the match preview for Southampton versus Chelsea tomorrow. Incomings overview. We're going to talk about Frankie de Jong, Aubameyang, and Zaha. All 3 of them being linked to the club. Then we're going to go into the outgoings. Callum's gone, Chalobah's staying, Gilmore's staying, allegedly, or he might be going. Then you have Conor Gallagher bid coming in, and then even more news about Hakim Ziyech and how the dominoes at Manchester United are affecting it. Then we're going to go into a quick little rant about Mason Mount, because it's really pissing me off how much he's being protected right now, and I think there needs to be some clear discussion about this. And finally, we're going to talk about how Thomas Tuchel is frustrated, and we got this from his press conference. I think a lot of players have been extremely distracted, and this distraction has been impacting the way they've been training. That's all I took away from the press conference. Let's get into this video. There is a lot to talk about. But before we get started, I think it's very important that you guys support the cause. You hit the like button. We aim for 1,000 likes. You subscribe to the channel, because there's nearly 20,000 of you that have done so. That is wild. I started this 2.5 years ago, and we're in this deep right now. And honestly, 20,000 is wild. 20,000, as my mom would say. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and in the pinned comment is my TikTok and my Instagram. If you guys want snippet content on other stuff such as Arsenal, Manchester United, and other clubs, like football in general, I'm there. If you guys want to send me a DM on a question, Instagram is the spot to hit me, and I'll respond. Let's get on with the video. We're going to start with the Frankie de Jong news, because it's the interesting. Why can't Frankie de Jong board a flight without getting bombarded? Everybody wants to surround him and ask him, are you going to Manchester United? Are you going Chelsea? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? I don't even know what that means, but I know some Spanish words combined together. Don't speak Spanish. But all jokes aside, Frankie de Jong is coming to London. Yes, he is coming to London. And as I always say, London is beautiful. There's a reason people come to London. And it's because Donny van de Beek is having a wedding in London. So Frankie is literally boarding a flight to go see his boy and dance at a wedding and have a few drinks. Xavi has given him some time off, and I think this will absolutely be the final nail in this saga. Frankie de Jong is taking a pay cut and is willing to sit on the bench to stay at Barcelona. Barcelona have got Paul, and we can't handle it. Sorry peeps, that's the story. Now on to Fabrizio Romano versus David Ornstein. This is like WrestleMania happening over here. Fabrizio Romano said Aubameyang agreed personal terms 12 days ago. He went on record as saying this within a tweet. David Ornstein releases an article and says, no, Chelsea have not agreed anything with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. One thing they both can agree is the 2 clubs haven't agreed a fee, and this is nowhere near complete. As of this moment, Aubameyang is going to be staying at Barcelona. Reason being, and this is the interesting side, Barca want to sell. Xavi wants to keep him. Chelsea want him, but at the right price. And this is where it gets messy. Barcelona want around 25 million to 30 million euros. Chelsea said we'll give you 18 million pounds. That is the most we're going to pay you for this player. Barca somehow found the money to register Koundé, so Chelsea have lost their leverage. Whether this happens or not, you're going to have to stay tuned with the Kavkas View, because I'll keep you up to date till the 1st of September, boys and girls. At this moment in time, this is in limbo. This could happen, couldn't happen, we don't know. Another player that's on standby, Wilfred Zaha. A lot of people always love to criticize Wilfred Zaha for his attitude. I don't think we can do that. We don't really know the person. But one thing we can praise him for is the player's really improved his output throughout the years. I don't think Wilfred Zaha can finish. Personally, when he goes through one-on-one, I've got zero faith that this guy's going to score. Usually, you're meant to have more faith that he'll score than he won't score, and I'm the opposite way around when it comes to Wilfred Zaha. Sources are saying that Chelsea have held discussions with Wilfred Zaha, and Chelsea's agents and Wilfred Zaha's agents, or intermediaries in Chelsea's case, are discussing a move potentially as a last-ditch effort. Zaha's been pushing for a way out of Palace for a while, we know that, but Chelsea aren't willing to pay the fee that it's going to take. But I think Chelsea will pay the fee, because if they don't get Gordon, they're going to go in for Zaha. And the reason they're going to go in for Zaha is he's cheap, he's available, and he's actually ready to come in and make an impact. Especially with the number of players that are leaving the club. We're going to get into that next. but it's actually mind-boggling how many are. Callum Hudson-Odoi is out of Chelsea. He's on a season-long loan to Bayer Leverkusen, and a lot of people are happy, including myself. Reason I'm so happy is because Callum Hudson-Odoi will finally get first-team football and Champions League football where he deserves. The kid has got to go and prove himself now. It's confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. He's gone for the year with no option to buy, which is fantastic. And more importantly now, he needs to start and putting goals onto the board. He needs to get at least 10 goals in the Bundesliga and surround that with around 5 to 7 assists, and that will be deemed as a good season from a statistical standpoint. But we need to see the eye test. The eye test is very important, people. It always has been, it always will be. If his performances lead to successful eye tests, and then that means we can attribute some skills from there into the Premier League, sprinkle it in, and he'll have a long career in it. And for me, this is important. We have seen Jadon Sancho, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner smash it in that league, come here and struggle. The only one that's not struggled is Mr. Erling Haaland, and Dolph Ziggler is amazing. So I'm sorry, Kai Havertz is never going to be anything like Erling Haaland, and neither is Hudson-Odoi. So Hudson, you need to start smashing it because you need to have a decent career. Then we go into the Anthony deal. Look, Manchester United fans are always complaining about how we don't spend money, we don't spend money. You spent £162 million on Martinez and Anthony. I'm sorry, but this is unacceptable. You cannot be complaining and playing the Glazer card forever when you spend that sort of money. And in this case now, Anthony's gonna come in and Martinez is gonna come in, and what's that gonna do for you, realistically speaking? Make you top 4 contenders? Maybe, but I don't see it because you still have a lot of glaring errors and you spent over 200 million. So please calm down with any hype that you have. You've got Ten Hag and you're gonna be having a rocky road. It's gonna take 2 to 3 years to make you guys semi-competitive, so behave. But how does this impact Chelsea? It impacts Chelsea in a very ugly way because Anthony is confirmed, which he already has been. Ziyech might be going to, and Chelsea have been asking for 44 million euros. I don't know what they've been on, but they've recently lowered that fee and they are asking for 21 to 25 million pounds now. And this is money that I believe is fair representation of the current market. A lot of people are going to say, Alex, he's being shit. What are you talking about? Listen, if Gordon's worth 60 million, Hakim Ziyech is worth 25. Okay? Don't do this to me right now, people. I'm not here to be playing a stupid game. I am genuinely serious. If Gordon is worth 60 million pounds, how on earth is Hakim Ziyech not worth 25? Like, really, honestly speaking. So, I think it's very important that we get the right fee for him. And if not, keep him. I'm dead serious. Ajax won a loan. We're going to see how that pans out in 2 days. That's the great thing about this video. We're gonna see all the answers in 2 days. We're gonna know. Conor Gallagher has been absolutely shocking in his first 2 games for Chelsea that he started. And I'm telling you now, it's no fault of his own. It's just he's not good enough in that position. Look, Conor Gallagher in a box-to-box role for an average team, top 6, like I say, is a very good player. Same goes for Tammy Abraham. But when you come to Chelsea, there's a certain level of expectation that you need to be able to do some things. And in my opinion, he can't retain the ball under pressure. That's a problem. Now, we have got Crystal Palace putting a £27 million bid in and it's being rejected. Rumours are coming out that Chelsea are not considering to sell this player. They believe this player's got a future at the club. They are keen to keep the assets, that young assets within the club. This is coming from the top. And the top is Todd Bowley. Bowley believes the way forward for Chelsea is to have young players in and around the squad, growing them, nurturing them, selling them on, or integrating them into the first team. Conor Gallagher needs to flourish at Chelsea. And the way he would do it is by either the system changing to suit him, or he needs to develop his ability to retain the ball a lot better than he currently is, because he has been struggling. And the final pieces of news, guys, we finally got there. Trevor Chalobah will be staying. This has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. The top brass have said, we want you to stay. They've convinced him to stay and given him assurances about game time. I don't know how the hell they're going to be doing that because Tuchel's picking the team, but we saw how good Trevor Chalobah was this weekend against Leicester. Fact of the matter is, he's a very good player. He's got all the attributes to fit into this team, whether it's in a back 4 or a back 3. He needs to stay. I'm happy with that. Billy Gilmore looks like he could be potentially going to Brighton on a permanent because Levi Colwill is already there. Chelsea aren't interested in keeping this kid because Tuchel don't rate him. Evidently, the brass doesn't rate him either, so he will be moving on. Personally, I think this is a shame because I think he's better than Conor Gallagher. I really do. I think he's better on the ball. He's better at dribbling in and out of situations. He's better at tactical awareness. The only thing Conor has on him is he's an athlete in comparison to Billy, who's 5'4", not taller than Natasha. It is what it is. It looks like Billy's going to be moving on to Brighton. Graham Potter's going to love you, big man. You're going to be amazing in that midfield. I promise you. Fact. You're not missing out on anything. If anything, you're going to improve them and become a top 8 guaranteed. You're that good, Billy. I hope you have a great career. And now on to Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley has left the club due to a termination of contract. Chelsea and Ross apparently have agreed to terminate their contract. And this is very interesting because are you telling me Ross Barkley couldn't have added anything this year? I think that is a little bit harsh. Ross Barkley is a very good player. I'm not saying he's Chelsea quality to start week in, week out, but Ross Barkley has got attributes that are very good. For example, his range of passing, his ability to get goals, and his ability to create. But a lot of people are not going to like him because it's Ross Barkley and it's cool to laugh at him. If he was a Chelsea youth product, you would be absolutely over the moon for this. But it is what it is. I don't think we can be too harsh. Poor guy. He's moving on, gonna find a new club, but guess what? He got a great payday. Happy days. Mason Mount always gets babied, and I hate it. Mason Mount is a very good player, but to say that Mason Mount has been uninspiring this year is not a lie. Mason Mount has been poor in the first 4 games, and that's a fact. I'm sorry, you can spin it any way you want. Chelsea got better when Mason Mount came off on the weekend. Does this mean Mason Mount is a bad player? No, but does it help you making excuses for him consistently and protecting him, and constructive criticism can't go his way? No, it doesn't, because you're lowering the standard, and he's gonna start thinking it's okay to play at this level. At Chelsea Football Club, we're used to SEM, Ballack, Lampard, Decos in the midfield. We're used to creme de la creme, world-class players. Mason Mount, if he wants to be a Chelsea legend, as he's on his route to becoming, he needs to up his level. He needs to be better. I'm sorry. Does this current system suit him? No, it doesn't. But is he getting the best out of what he is? No, he isn't, because we saw last season, he put numbers on the board. Now he needs to replicate those numbers and put some performances in there, and I'm telling you now, we're gonna have a great player on our hands. And finally, people, onto the press conference. Look, this is gonna be a short and snappy one. Thomas Tuchel, my good friend, isn't happy, guys. He said a lot of players, it's normal for them to be distracted because of their futures, but once September 1st comes, does not want to see it. And for me, this is important. You can tell a lot of players are frustrated, and a lot of people in their positions would be in the same situations because they gotta know where they're going. You got Hakim Ziyech wondering whether he's gonna be in Amsterdam or London. You've got Callum Hudson-Odoi thinking whether he's going to be wearing black because of Bayer Leverkusen or blue because of Chelsea. You've got Trevor Chalobah thinking, hold on, what am I going to do when Wesley Fofana comes? You've got Billy Gilmore saying, why am I playing with the under-23s? Players are getting distracted. The focus is not the games. And Tuchel evidently is frustrated with that. He also moaned about the options he has in midfield, but big man, this is all on you. Matheus Nunes, if I pronounce that right, Tash, I don't know, because a Portuguese name, I have to get approval from Tash. Matheus Nunes is available. You didn't let him come to Chelsea. He went to Wolves, and now we missed out on another destructive midfielder. Go and get my good friend Neves from Wolves. He's available for £40 million. You don't want to. Thomas, I'm telling you now, you cannot complain about profiling because you had a whole host of players. He also went on to speak about other things such as players getting more opportunities now because of the fixture congestion, us being ridiculously spoiled with Aspie and Reece. It was an interesting press conference. We're not going to go into much detail. Go on Chelsea TV and watch it. Normally we would go into the details and dive into the fine details. Said details one too many times there, but we ain't got time for that. This is going to be a long video. I think like 16 minutes already. I don't want to bore you guys. My prediction for tomorrow, we need to win that game. I think we will win that game. I think it will be a difficult game because we don't do nothing comfortably. With Chelsea, you don't know, right? But I think it'll be 2-0, and I don't think it'll be an easy game because they're a good side. They're going to be attacking us on a counter. They're going to have a high line, so let's hope Raheem Sterling gets in behind and slots a few more goals in. Guys, this was the Kavkas View. I hope you enjoyed it. Glad you guys are here. Like I said, 20,000 subs. We're creeping closer to that number. It's wild for me. Thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Bye.